All right, here we are. We are at Cheers in South Bend, Indiana, and we got Amanda, the lead vocals for Eva Under Fire.
What's up, guys? How are you? Great. How are you? Thanks so much for
doing awesome.
having this little shindig out here, and I appreciate you guys coming down to the show, man. So
yeah,
excited.
absolutely. And this is the very first time we've got to see you. We play your music, but we haven't seen you yet. So tell us about your band. Tell us about your everything. Just something about you guys that when you're on stage and.
Oh, well, I was gonna start with fun facts. So I thought that originally you were gonna introduce me as Ava, because everybody always asks me if that's what it is.
Yeah.
My real name is Amanda, but I will take Ava or Hey You.
So
or whatever.
Let's hear the fact about where's Ava come from.
Actually, Ava is a person whom I used to know was really inspired by in my life. She just stood for a lot of really. She was very bold in what she believed in, and so I felt like that was a really cool thing about that person. So for me, Ava just sort of it embodied this idea, this concept of being really strong. And the guys were like, "Yeah, man, that sounds like a battle cry kind of thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's really cool," So we kind of took that and ran with it. So that was the whole backstory.
But why Under Fire?
I think it was when they said battle cry, you think under fire, that you're, like people always have an idea about what you stand for, or they question you, and they, sometimes people accuse others of things that aren't 100% what they believe in. And so, like, for you to be strong and independent and uplift and encourage one another and break down barriers, and you're kind of battling this idea that we're all separate in some way, that we want to be like a unified with the people in the crowd. We try to interact with the crowd a lot. We love the fans that come out to the shows. We enjoy ourselves, like a camaraderie amongst the band, which I love to pieces. I feel like I get to hang out with my friends most of the time. When people are like, "How do you deal with being tracked up in the band for like hours on end with 4 dudes?" I'm like, I don't know, man. It's really not that bad.
It's really it's our band. It's just what we do.
So we wanted to counter that. We wanted to inspire people to stand together for being unified, and not about those differences that tear us all down.
Okay. So how long have you guys been together?
This is our second year.
Your second year?
Yes.
And you got one album?
We have a lot of albums.
A lot of albums?
We have one kind of, I guess, we have 2 albums technically. Okay. But we did a mashup where we put everything all together onto one album, and we saw what people really enjoyed from us. Okay. And we took that and we printed it, so that's what we sell when you guys come to the shows. It's a combination of both our album Anchors and then our second album was War. Okay. But have no fear, because we have a third one that's coming out soon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Is it already been recorded, or are you guys recording, or?
We have finished. We are finished recording. We are getting all of the finalized mixes as we speak.
Okay, so you're mastering.
We're doing that release probably, look for me in August.
Okay.
New stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
So, when you guys got together 2 years ago, where did you guys meet? How did this come about?
So what's fun about it, we have all been in different projects, and so we've played with separate bands, all kind of came together. So we've met years ago, just through music and different projects that each of us were working in at that time. And so, life happens, you kind of get away from it for a moment, and then you miss writing, you miss music, you miss playing out live. Like, I can't ever put it down. So we ran into an old buddy, myself and Rob ran into Chris at like a music festival that's local to us, right? And so we were at Uncle Sam Jam, and he was like, "Hey, man, we're not really doing much of anything. Like, what have you guys been up to?" We're like, "Yeah, same. Like, why don't we just get together and jam?" So jamming turned into 2 years dedicated into
2
making
years
this
ago,
a career.
you're still jamming.
We relit that fire, you guys. We really did. We got in the basement. We were like, this is really good. We got to do something. We're just having too much fun to put it down.
So what inspired you to get into music? I mean, with your singing, and what was your inspiration?
I used to I'm a 90s kid,
yes.
Right? So I always listened to pop music. My first, I'm not proud of my first concert.
That's okay.
But it inspired me to get into, listening to artists like Christina Aguilera and Alicia Keys, people who had crazy range and vocal ability, right? At that time, though, I couldn't hit those notes. I had no range. I had very, very limited access to trying to perform their stuff. So I got into like Breaking Benjamin,
Okay.
Kill Switch Engage, Stained, all of that. So it was really cool.
Okay.
Guys, that's who we're opening for. That's dead.
That's dead. There it is.
There it is. There they went.
They gotta go put their eyes in.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what they're doing over there. I'm stoked.
Yeah. I've seen them so many times. They're so.
They even the sound check was like awesome.
It's unbelievable. They're unbelievable.
Yeah.
They really are. They're a great, and they're great guys. I mean, I've interviewed them, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and
cool.
It's like, you see them, and it's like, they never forget.
Yeah.
They're always there, and they're like I said, they're just good guys. They
seem like good people.
Yeah, they are. But so when you were listening to the other bands, and then you got into Kill Switch and everything else, Breaking Benjamins, what where did you find your range? How did you finally say, okay, this is what I'm going to try out and just make it happen?
So rock music has an energy that pop music lacks, right? So I love the realness that you can be in rock music. It's meant to be more of an aggressive tone, something that just seems to seep out this encouragement for me. That's where it came from. But my range built when I started working with other musicians. I don't play, so it was funny to me. I learned how to sing a cappella. Whereas some vocalists I've run into, they're like, oh, I can never do a cappella. I don't have any reference. But for me, it was weird to play like with another group of musicians. They started to say, well, we should play in different keys. Oh, we should play in this tuning. Oh, we should do this and that. And I'm like, well, you should consider the fact that I can't do that. And they're like, no, yes, you can. Why don't you just try? Go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah, you just do it.
So after a while, I had one really focused vocal lesson. I'd had other lessons before, but one guy really hit the nail on the head. He said, I'll tell you, it's not your technique or your range. He said, it's your breathing. That's what's chopping off everything that you're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
So I had one lesson to go back to the basics, and man, that has been so key.
Really?
Yeah, so if I could give one piece of advice to any vocalists that are aspiring to do any kind of singing publicly or just to get a better range or however you're doing it, make sure your breathing's where it should be and watch lessons on that, YouTube it, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Because that's huge. So.
Yeah, they all have, you see they get that from the diaphragm, and you get that, kind of the breathing, like you said, the breathing, because you bring it from the diaphragm and and it just, I can't sing for nothing. I don't
but you know what the diaphragm, see?
Even
he knows what's important.
I know what I'm talking about. I just can't do it. But when you said the different influences too, that also helps because you can hear different ranges and then you can try them. Mm-hmm. And then see what works for you. And if it don't work for you, it don't work for you.
Yeah.
But then if it does, then you go with it.
Right. And don't be afraid to suck, because the first time you probably will.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to work the first couple of rounds, and you're going to be like, oh, I popped, I squeaked, I did something weird. It's fine. That's what you're supposed to, then you'll grow.
Right.
So
and that's
being challenged helped me with that.
And I always say I like to hear bands' second album. Those are my favorite because you can hear where their growth is. You can hear the maturity through the writing, through the vocals. You can hear, the different mastering, the better, like, okay, we got to make this better because the first album was good, but we need to be better. So you can always hear something better on a second album. So sophomore albums are always the best. They're always the best.
Cool.
And I love hearing those.
That's really kind of cool, a dynamic, because I always hear the opposite, actually, that the first stuff is like, oh, this is where their real, personality is shining, and then after that, you kind of get these producers that get involved, and it just ruins the whole vibe. But I think you're right, and you could think of it in a different light, that, you can grow a lot from album 1 to album 2, so it's cool to check that out too. There's a band on the East Coast called Black Plague with female lead, and their jump from their first album to their second was remarkable. I mean, it was so huge, and you can hear her she can go from growling to melodic, just smooth, and just, it's perfect. I'm gonna write this down. Black Plague.
Yes, check them out.
This out. All right.
They're great. They really are.
Very cool.
They're one of the bands that I push because they're good people. They came through Chicago, and I got to meet them, and they're really great. So yeah, check them out and get a hold of her. Stephanie will talk to you. She'll tell you how she does it because she's unbelievable.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for new references, new friends in the industry, people that we can meet. And that's one of the coolest things because we're from Detroit, Michigan area. So coming out here and kind of doing these we started off doing the weekend things. We did our first 10-day run over the summer.
Okay.
So it's been really cool to see kind of how we can get in the van and just go, and the friends that we meet, the people we come across, people like you that spin our music. And he's like, hey, I got you guys' music stuff. And I'm like, dude, can we talk?
Well, I'm going to, okay. So since we're talking about it, we have an app that's called Asgard Connect. It's on any phone in any app store, and it connects you with people who will put you up for lodging for free in their house. And it connects you with like booking personnel, venues, and other things. So you don't have to hire like, a booking agent or a manager. You can do it yourself.
Can I hug you?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing.
But yeah,
Who knew?
And it when I first started it, they liked it they called it the Rock and Roll B&B.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And anytime you go through, I'm in Northwest Indiana. I live in Portage. So you come by, you can give me a call like a day in advance, say, hey, we need a place to stay. We're coming through. I'm like, okay, I got room. I let bands stay at my house all the time.
Love, rock and roll, and support.
Yeah.
People, this is the way that things happen.
It's how it should be.
Yes.
Asgard's how it should be.
Teamwork makes the dream work, my friend.
We talked to, when I first started 8 years ago, it was, you could see the industry is a family.
Yes.
And if you're not a diva, which you do find a lot of them, you have a family and you want to help them, and that's why, like I know your music, I've been playing it, and we want to help you. Just like, A Silent Truth.
A Silent Truth!
We play them. We just played their new song Angel, which came out a couple weeks ago or last month or something, but we play them. Bullet to the Heart, we play them just all the time. So, I mean, it just...
I gotta meet them.
Oh yeah, you do, because she's oh
pretty
Lord,
stellar, yeah.
Woo, boy, she passed out on stage. She was so hardcore one time,
Intense.
Unbelievable, so intense. And then I had to run and buy her tacos.
She loves tacos too.
Oh yes,
Yes.
and they were real tacos, not.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, so anyway, what's coming up for you guys after here at Cheers?
Man, so we're heading actually to Wisconsin. We get to play a show tomorrow, which is awesome. And then we're finishing up, like I said, in the studio. We have one more music video that's been planned. So we're shooting that, filming that. Things are going to be starting to jump off. We're going to start pre-orders probably like beginning of July. I'm going to say beginning of July.
Okay.
And get everything rolling, and then we're going to ramp that up, and probably August we'll have a full blown. Hopefully by then we can like full blown tour. Hopefully by then this is the next level stuff. This producer that we're working with, ladies and gentlemen, is fantastic. So we're super stoked. He's really excited. We've had a lot of really cool dynamics on this record that don't exist on Anchors and War. Anchors and War is a really great reflection of how we can be just us, but it's just like us in the same way of we're like really flaky and we go all over the place, and we just have such a great time that we'll do a punk song and a pop song and a thrash song, and then we'll lighten it up a little bit with a ballad, and that's so it's everywhere. This one is a lot more focused. There's some really cool production work on there that I'm excited for, so we're really ramping it up.
Well, and also, since you said you have videos, we also have a video channel that we promote videos to, Asgard Music Video, and you can send me the video and we'll put it on there. And then when we start production on our show, which is called Asgard Music Video Show, Bringing Back the M on Your TV, we do 5 videos a show, and every week we put out a new one. So.
That's so cool. I actually just bought like a vintage tank top because it had MTV in it. And I'm like, MTV, you're like bringing the music back.
That's
man.
what we're doing.
Bringing the music back.
Bringing back the music, or bringing back the M on your TV.
I like it
because they don't play music.
Oh, dude.
I don't even know how they
bad.
have music awards anyway, because they don't even do
Well,
videos.
how would you even find out, right?
Yeah,
so apparently Asgard is the way you find out.
That's right, damn it. We the shit. All right, so before we let you go, because it's starting to rain here, and it looks like, you got to go meet the other. You got to go meet.
Yeah, I got to go. Find new friends, man.
Where can people find your stuff? Do you have a website or Facebook or what?
Yeah, we're all over the place. You can check out Eva Under Fire, spelled EVA Under Fire. It's evaunderfire.com. You can find us on Facebook, friend us on Instagram. I've got my Instagram up, so just we're all over YouTube. We've got some other music videos that circulate there. If you'd like to see what all of our independent stuff looked like before, which is really fun. We've had several people who have all told us, man, this is really exciting stuff. So that's why we're so pumped. I think it's just like this new opportunity to share more is always like just as nerve-wracking as it is fun.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You guys will have to let us know what you think.
Oh, we'll let you know. We'll give you a review.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to have a review after tonight, too. I'll write it up.
There you go.
We review every time one of our media people go to shows, we write reviews on them. So
there you go. So you have to stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So, Eva Under Fire, check them out. Or Eva Under Fire. Sorry, Eva Under Fire.
Eva. He says Eva, I say Eva. And he's in the band. So whatever you want to call us, just make sure you check it out.
Just check them out and get their stuff, buy their stuff, so we can see them in a full-blown tour coming up very soon. So we'll get back in there because we can get out of the rain here.
Here we go.
Right. All right, we'll see you back here on Asgard Radio.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.